How's it going, everyone? Liam Catterson here, and we're going to be reacting to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We're going to be reacting to Angel, which we'll get to that bridge in a few seasons, I believe. But no, this episode is titled Angel, episode number 7 of season 1, to what has been a very, very fun journey so far. I've just really enjoyed the show so much. But yeah, I'm assuming we're going to get to know more about Angel. He's been very mysterious throughout these past few episodes. Every interaction he's had with Buffy, he's always had this mystique about him. So I'm assuming we're going to leave all the mystiques behind and get in to know more about Angel and who he is and everything about it. Well, probably not everything, but we'll get the majority of who he is and his importance to Buffy, etc. In this episode. Last episode was, yeah, it was different. It was not an episode I was expecting whatsoever. I don't say that in a bad way. It was pretty dark. Like I said, I think it's probably the best episode of season 1 thus far. That might change with this episode, who knows, but it was something. It was dark, it was brutal. They just didn't hold back whatsoever during that episode. So yeah, which is like I said, I think the way that Buffy was built, the 5 episodes that we got, that last episode caught me completely out of left field. But like I said, the way they structured it, the way they handled everything about this episode, I think it is the best episode so far. But like I said, that's probably going to change maybe with this episode, who knows. But with that said, let's get into this episode. Extended reaction, you know the drill, on Patreon. So with that said, let's go.
Let me kill her for you.
You have a personal interest in this.
I don't get to have any fun.
I will send the 3.
The 3?
She's getting chastised after her, Are these the 3? So she's getting chastised after she was a bit greedy in the first episode. Leave the bug alone!
What about Angel? Angel? Did you see him in a relationship? Hi, honey, you're in grave danger. I'll see you next month. He's not around much. It's true.
Well, I don't think we've got a real conversation with him.
You know, it's like that with some guys.
Oh, yeah.
Good dogs don't.
Oh, go on, Angel! Holy shit! My hero, my knight in shining armor. Are they going back in? Why would you lead them to the... Oh! Slice his hand off. Oh, they never sliced the hand off. Why would you lead them back to the house?
A vampire can't come in unless it's invited.
I've heard that before, but I've never put it to the test.
Still?
I just had this feeling you were.
Why would I do that?
Just kiss each other, okay?
You're the mystery guy that appears out of nowhere.
Let's not prolong this. Let's just get on with it.
But if you are hanging around, I'd like to know why.
Maybe I like you.
Maybe.
Oh, is this the mother?
2 of us, 1 bed. That doesn't work.
Yeah, it does.
Why don't you take the bed? You know, you're wounded.
I'll take the floor.
No, that's not.
Believe me, I've had worse.
Okay.
What's the story?
Then why don't you check and see if the Fang Gang is still loitering and, keep your back turned while I change.
I mean, come on, you guys are a ship.
It's been a long time since anybody's been in a position to let me know.
Very mysterious.
You spent the night? In your room? In your bed?
Not in my bed, by my bed.
That is so romantic. Did you, did he,
Perfect gentleman.
Buffy, come on, wake up
Willow.
and feel the seductions. The old...
Seems you encountered the 3. Warrior vampires. Very proud and very strong.
How is it you always know this stuff? You always know what's going on. I never know what's going on.
Well,
Giles is a vampire.
Midnight until 6 researching it.
No, I was sleeping.
Obviously, you're hurting the
Poor
master
Giles.
very much. He wouldn't send the
Don't judge
the
him.
tree for just anyone. We must step up.
You're gonna
Pay
get.
attention, child. You are
oh,
the
no.
anointed, and there is
I was
much
gonna
you
say,
must learn.
surely he's gonna let the anointed
With
one.
power comes responsibility.
True, they did
Forgot
fail,
great.
but also true.
What? Oh!
Let's move on to the crossbow.
Poor Giles. Oh man.
It doesn't stand for angel for that matter. It stands for Ahmed, a charming foreign exchange student. That's nothing to even do.
Sure.
Your mother moved your diary when she came in to straighten up. I watched her from the closet. I didn't read it, I swear.
See, he's a proper gentleman. Ah. And it's gonna lead to the bedroom,
What?
so.
What's wrong?
Ooh! No freaking way! Oh
I
no!
can't believe this is happening. One minute we were kissing, and the next minute... Can a vampire ever be a good person? Couldn't it happen?
Vampire isn't a person at all. It may have.
Tell her about the curse. Maybe she'll come around.
About the cat.
And if she still doesn't trust you, you know where I'll be.
What the? Oh man. It does seem like he's segregating away from like,
Yes,
the
something
master
alone.
and all of that.
Runs other vampires and lives alone. There's no record of him hunting here.
So he is a good vampire. I mean,
Yeah,
on a scale of 1
I
to
assume
10, 10
like
being someone who's
with
killing and maiming every night, and 1 being someone who's not.
I say that there's no record, but
I love
vampires
you,
hunt and
Willow.
kill. It's what they do.
Fish got his...
I mean, before he turned into... How was it?
Stop, Willow. You're making me just love you so much more, and I just want to give you a hug.
And it is kind of novel how he'll stay young and handsome forever, although you'll still get wrinkly and die. And oh, what about the children?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Someone think of the children.
It's okay. My family kind of goes back to those days.
Well, I know she's supposed to be home soon. Would you like to come in and wait?
No. Don't do it.
Very nice of you to invite me into your home.
Oh
You're
boy.
welcome. I've been wrestling with the IRS all night. Would you like something to eat?
Yes, I would.
No. No.
See what we have.
Wrong choice of words.
Something little.
Oh no.
Welcome home.
Angel. Angel. Angel.
Hey, I'm home.
Shit. Yeah, that's pretty incriminating, isn't it? Oof.
You care about them. You can't change that by
Killing them?
Oh.
Maybe not. But I think it's a start.
We'll keep an eye on your mom.
And the thing is, Angel didn't even do anything, but he was tempted.
Three found me near the bronze, and so did he. He lives nearby.
This isn't an ordinary vampire. If there is such a thing. Now he knows you. He's faced the 3. I think this is going to take more than a simple stake.
So do I.
Yeah, I was gonna say the weapons are gonna come back into. It's one of. It should be one of the good ones, though. Like, can this ship this ship can surely still work if they just.
When you become a vampire, the demon takes your body, but it doesn't get your soul. That's gone. No conscience, no remorse. It's an easy way to live. You have no idea what it's like to have done
Live
the
on your
things I've
mistakes.
done and to care. I haven't fed on a living human being since that day.
So you started with my mom,
I didn't bite her.
and why didn't you say something?
I wanted to.
You guys were involved?
For several generations.
Well, You've been around since Columbus. You are bound to pile up a few exes. You're older than him, right? Just between us girls, you are looking a little worn around the eyes.
I made him. Came alone, do you?
I know I didn't.
Scary. Scarier.
Oh my god! Oh,
Don't worry.
shit!
Bullets can't kill vampires. You can hurt them like hell, but...
Oh, dang.
Here, but no heart.
Still got a sting like hell, surely. Not pretty.
We need to distract her. Fast.
Buffy, it was an angel who attacked your mom and
Ah, dang it. I just love the idea of a vampire with guns. Oh.
Come on, Buffy.
Pays a
Take it like
distraction.
man.
Go on, Angel! Yeah!
Angel?
To Angel.
I gotta walk away from this.
I know. Me too. One of us has to go here.
See, it's not easy saying. Just don't give a shit if he's a vampire. He's a decent person, and we like Angel.
Painful. I know.
Be there for him.
See you around.
Hey! Oh, just attacked the mic. I'm so happy I'm attacking the mic. Ooh. Awesome. That was awesome. I love that episode so much. Holy crap. I just loved it so much. Like, not just the twist of Angel. Oh, he's actually a vampire. But he benefits so much with the fact that he does have a more pure heart than everyone else. But also, I think the lesson, about just because he's a vampire doesn't mean, okay, well, nothing good can come from him and all of that, and you can still be allied with someone who their association with doesn't really give the best reputation, does it? The group that he's associated with, that being the vampire. But it doesn't mean that they're all bad people and all of that. So, yeah. But I do really, really love that episode so much, and I'm glad that the ship can still sail, because I'm on board with the ship, and yeah, and like I said, he does pick up, with the fact that he has a decent soul and all of that, he does also pick up a few benefits, that would normally see the end of him. Darla shooting him would have ended Angel if he were human, so that's a plus, right? Yeah? When I said the last episode was my favorite? Yeah. This episode is definitely now my favorite of season 1 so far. It was just really, really good. I would not have anticipated Angel being a vampire whatsoever. But I did love how they explained how he was different from the other vampires. How is this guy that is helping out Buffy and all of that a vampire, and why is he so different? Especially with which does make his the idea of his own spin-off very, very intriguing, and I'm wondering if we're going to see his sickening actions potentially in the spin-off, to the point where I don't expect Angel to end when he is forced to have some humanity in him, but I do wonder if we're going to get glimpses of him in when he was terrorizing innocents, and he was completely evil, because with this episode alone, you have a kind of an idea of how interesting Angel can be, the spin-off Angel. Like, the character's already interesting anyways, but now we have an idea. Like, I'm not gonna be fully focused on Angel, like the TV show, now that we've gotten an idea on who Angel is, but you kind of have an idea on okay, well, this is going to make the show even more interesting, surely, because we have a vampire who has some humanity in him, and there's still that temptation in him as well, because we saw Darla try to tempt him into the dark side, and them two have had a relationship as well, so it was pretty great to delve into that, but he's still feeding on blood anyways, albeit a less malicious means. It's still a bit iffy, isn't it? Like, if you're stealing blood supplies from the hospital and all of that, like, people need that surely, but he can't help it at the end of the day. I mean, he is still a vampire, but he's got a human soul at the end of the day. So his physical means cannot help whatsoever. So yeah, it was a really great episode. There was a lot of emotion during that episode. It was filled with heartache. It was filled with lore. It was filled with everything, and I just really enjoyed this episode so much. We know how Angel got the curse, like I said, which I thought was really well done, like explaining his background and how he was a very ruthless vampire back in the day, and then he went for someone who was Buffy's age, and the gypsies damned his soul. And I really love how it was greatly explained about how vampires are known to lose their humanity once the transformation has took place. And whilst he I think it's really great, because he would have done bad without that humanity in him, obviously. But you just gotta imagine, I think the point is, you just gotta imagine how much more dangerous that Angel could have been without that humanity. But having that humanity makes us revel in Angel, as well as his intentions to do good and to make amends for what he did. So, not only that, though, but I do feel like, of course, the main purpose of giving Angel his humanity is to live with what he has done. And that's part for him trying to make amends for what he has done, to live, to try and do better than what he did before. But what the gypsies did as well, they've really done they wouldn't have known it probably. They might have done so actually, but I was just thinking they have made sure that they have used Angel as a weapon against the vampires, because the master vampire did state that Angel was basically his right-hand man. He was basically his second, I guess, the way he was describing Angel. And using being able to revert his soul, should I say, to his humanity form, really does put a big dent in the Master Vampire's plans, who is already losing allies by the second, so he could do with Angel at this point. And thank goodness for the gypsies. But it was really great stuff to see, especially the old habits, temptations with Angel, and that was really great stuff. And then how Joyce was involved. I think that's the mother's name. How she was completely involved, but she still hasn't got the foggiest about the whole vampire shtick, when this was her closest, if anything. Which is really funny, because, then again, I was going to say, it's funny when we saw Buffy in the second episode get all her vampire slaying stuff out the crate, and Buffy's mother didn't have the foggiest. And we got in this episode that Buffy's mother was just cleaning around and all of that, when she freaked out about the potential about Angel going through her diary, which was a really, really funny scene. But yeah, it was really, really good. Temptation is like the old habits shtick that Angel had to go through this episode was really, really well done, especially with his interactions with Darla. But yeah, this was really, really good stuff to see. One thing that does bother me, and it's probably a small thing, but I do wish we'd gotten more of the three, because they were described to be the most, if I recall, they were valued really, really highly by the Master, and it does seem like a bit of a waste to have them executed. Like, he wasn't doing it himself, but he was like, kill them, whatever. They failed, and the funny thing is, like, they were not responsible for their own failure. They were like ready to own Buffy, and then Angel shows up. Buffy not having the best of days, actually, when you think about it, because Darla was very, very impressive against Buffy as well, and she had to rely on Angel taking her out in order for Buffy to be victorious. So, yeah, Buffy not having the best of days. And not just that, though, but we'll get on more about Buffy's struggles during this episode in a moment. But, yeah, I was just talking about the three. Like, they were described so highly by the Master Vampire. And, like I said, with the fact that Angel is becoming a bit of a threat to the vampires, which is not something the Master Vampire wanted, you'd think you'd want to give them a more lenient punishment than just execution, especially for something that they were not responsible for. So, yeah, it does seem a bit careless, especially when you have to consider you may need the help, in my eyes. But, yeah, it was just really, really good. We got some really, really juicy lore about the vampires in this episode, as well as Angel, of course, but especially with about their souls and all of that, and that they have to be invited into the home, which is, I guess, polite of the vampires. Like, they are not going to come into your home unless you invite them, so at least give them that credit. But also, I really, really love the idea that I'm knocking my keyboard. I'll move you out of the way. There we go. Yeah, I was going to say, I really, really love the idea that there are some good in people who may have done heinous things, but they are not, it's not to the fact that they cannot be redeemed. They can make up for their sins, and this is what Angel is doing. Some people can not change and all of that. Some people are always going to be pieces of shit, but some people can change from from doing really, really messed up stuff, and Angel is living with that. Like, Angel's a living embodiment of living with what he has done and having to make amends for his actions. So I really, really like that. But also that the fact in my eyes that just because you're associated to an infamous group doesn't mean that you are necessarily bad. I mean, you have done bad stuff, but we've known in this episode that Angel is for the good, not for the bad. He's done bad things, and that's where the tension lies. But it's not, and there was that bit of temptation, but it's not like he shifted to the dark side, and yeah, so. Yeah, but like I said, his actions are still going to be there, but at least he's now that he's got his humanity back, he's wanting to do some good and all of that. So, yeah, but because without that, yeah, he still would have been a bit of a problem, obviously, but it's not like Buffy has completely said, well, you're a vampire, so screw you. I don't care if you're trying to do good and all of that, or what excuse you have. You're still a vampire. You still need to be taken care of. And it's so funny considering that, she was in a complete rut in this episode. And it got really, really personal. Like I said, her mother was the victim, so that wasn't good. Not only that, but her feelings were in a bit of a crossfire, weren't they? Because we know with Buffy, she has this obligation to fulfill her duty on slaying vampires, and her love interest turns out to be a vampire, which is quite the pickle, isn't it? So yeah, she was in a bit of a rut in this episode, but it was really, really great stuff to see. So Buffy not having the best of times. Not only was she stuck in a crossroads emotionally, but she didn't really fare well in terms of the fight in this episode. But she did, I did love the interactions between her and Angel in this episode. I think the chemistry is really, really well done. And yeah, she was, Buffy's always going to still continue to impress me. Willow as well is just really, really amazing. I really, really do love how she is nervous about Xander, because I just want to give her a hug, but we got into why she's not asking Xander out. She's a bit nervous, and she's just too pure, and we just love Willow, as well as a few funny comments she made. You just love her. And then Xander as well was a bit, shaky, still continuing that approach where he is a bit jealous about other people being around Buffy, other men that could be seen as a threat and all of that. I really, really, because we had that Owen guy, I think it was, in episode 5, was it? Yeah, episode 5, and Xander was a bit on edge there. And Angel has always been a bit of a disturbance to Xander anyways. So, and I did, like I said though, I did really, really love the, and that's one of the main reasons why I do ship Angel and Buffy. Their chemistry is really, really well done. I thought when Angel was sleeping in the same room as Buffy, I thought their interactions was really, really great there as well. But I do love the aspect that the Slayer of Vampires is in love with a vampire himself, albeit this is a guy who's doing good, so it's not like he's still in league with the vampires. There is some temptations, but he needs to be steered on the right direction, and that's why Buffy is a great candidate rather than Darla, who is trying to pull him back into the darkness. Buffy is the light in his eyes, so yeah, I think that's why Buffy is a great candidate. But yeah, I like this episode so much. It's the best episode so far. I said that about episode 6, but this is what I was talking about. Maybe the next episode will be the best episode of season 1. After, maybe episode 8 will be the best episode. Who knows? But it just shows that the show, this show is progressing, which I really, really like, because if you've got decent quality, then this show's an instant win and all of that. And so far, the show has shown some really, really fundamental quality, and I'm really enjoying what we're getting with Buffy. So, yeah, it was impressive. It was completely shocking because I had no idea. I wouldn't have pitched. I don't know. Maybe some form of demon, if anything, but I wouldn't have pitched. I wouldn't have imagined Angel as a vampire, but there we go. And it's done in fantastic fashion as well. They didn't do it for just shocks and all of that with, because you can execute a shock and it's not going to be good. Take Game of Thrones, for example. I've got no chill whatsoever, but they incorporated certain shocks in the final season. Didn't mean it was good whatsoever. In this case, it was really, really good with the whole Angel reveal, because they explained it really, really well, how he's got his humanity, and there's that temptation, and the fact that his love interest is a slayer of vampires, so it puts a bit of difficulty there, but we can work it out, and I really, really love it. So yeah, this was a great episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!